Wrestlemania, the grandest stage of them all. The showcase of the Immortals. I'm your host, Retro Joe, for Night 1 of WrestleMania 36. This was a very weird year we had going on in wrestling so far. So I was kind of discouraged on how WrestleMania would play out this year with no fans, but I have to say honestly, overall, I've watched the whole thing, Night 1 and Night 2. It was okay. There were some really good matches. There were some very good spots, very good promos. I was extremely impressed by Night number 2. But Wildcat will be covering that shortly here, and I will be covering Night 1 for you guys. Anyways, so how did it go? Night 1. A little rocky. We had a little hiccup on the start there, but it picked up towards the end, and we got a really cool cinematic ending. You stay tuned to that and watch the whole thing. If you watch anything from Night 1, watch the last match. Well, it's not really a match, but hey, what are you gonna do? Anyways, let's go ahead and kick this thing off with the kickoff show. We have Cesaro, Swiss Superman versus Drew Gulak. This was an okay match. It was a little too short, I thought. What I took away from this, there's moments in WrestleMania that you remember forever, and there's matches that you forget instantly. Will I remember this match? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I will remember the fact that Cesaro did the airplane spin with no arms. Pretty impressive, Mr. Swiss Superman. I don't know, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I thought that was nice. Cesaro took the win on this one, which was pretty obvious. I thought from the beginning he was going to take it. I mean, it's Cesaro. Come on, he's huge. He's a monster. Hey, Cesaro takes the win. He usually does. So first, the second match we had was the Women's Tag Team Championship with the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. What did WWE do to our MVP of the Pro Wrestling Power podcast? That's right, they took her belt away. Why, WWE? Why do you have to do these things? Why do you have to make me mad on WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year? Why did you do this to me? Sorry guys to tell you this, but the Kabuki Warriors lost this match. If you don't know who they are, it's Kairi Sane and Asuka. But apparently, some people are ready for Asuka, and that was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which I don't really care for those two, especially as a tag team. I don't think Nikki Cross is as good as she's become her happy little best friend self. I don't really care for that. I liked her NXT version of Nikki Cross more than I do now. The new ones, it's just odd. It doesn't work well for me. But unfortunately, they did win this one, and they are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. The takeaways I took from this were it was an okay match. I wouldn't say it was the greatest thing. It was pretty good most times. There's a lot of high spots. Pretty hard hitting match. Like I said, I didn't like the outcome, but hey, you don't always get what you want in this world, and sometimes the people you want to win don't win, and that's what happened tonight. I did like when Asuka was dancing like Alexa Bliss. I thought that was pretty funny. That was a callback to the previous show where Alexa was dancing on the ropes at her. Pretty funny. Still didn't like the outcome. But anyways, moving on, we have a lot of matches to cover. We can't take all day on these each one. We will not be going play by play, and we will not be spoiling things that are very, very, very good. So, and Wildcat's with me on this one. I'll get to more of that at the end. Next match, we have a revenge match with King Corbin versus Elias. So y'all remember King Corbin, Lion King Elias, off of the upper echelons of the Performance Center a few weeks ago. Yeah, I thought it was stupid. Wildcat thought it was pretty stupid too. But hey, this is what happens sometimes. They do really dumb spots to set up rivalries, this is what they did. I was happy that King Corbin got his butt whipped. I really, really hate Baron Corbin. I think he's like another Roman Reigns where they're trying to push this guy and nobody wants him. I mean, you can be a heel, but there's good heels in wrestling and there's bad heels in wrestling. Rowdy Piper was one of the best heels in wrestling. Loved him. Even though everybody's supposed to hate him, everybody loved him. But King Corbin, nobody loves you and everybody hates you. A good heel has fans that also love him. If you're that good a heel and everybody loves you, you might be one of the greatest heels ever. Like an MJF. Or like I said, Rowdy Piper. But man, Baron Corbin, just go away. We don't want you there. You're not good. Whew. Sorry, King Corbin. He grinds my gears if I have to say so. So we start out with Elias. He comes down the ramp, hits King Corbin with the guitar and breaks it. Good job. Like that. It was great. Corbin tried to cheat towards the end. He had his foot on the ropes to try to do the pin. And the ref saw it, called him out. As soon as he called him out, Elias rolled him up to the pin for a victory. And then we see something that I don't think I've ever heard before. Elias has theme music. What? Yeah, that's right. All you guys ever hear is the little guitar strum when Elias comes out, and then he walks out and sings a song or something. But this time, when he won, he had music. It wasn't the greatest music, but it was something. It was something I ain't never seen before. Moving quickly on. Next match of the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. That's right, Shayna Baszler. The one I've been downing every single week when I do the reviews. Because I don't like Shayna Baszler. I don't think she's good on promos. She's okay in the ring, but promos, you gotta have both. You can't be one or the other. You gotta be a whole package. You gotta be good at promos, you gotta be good in the ring, you gotta be good at ring psychology, the chemistry between you and the other person, being able to sell moves, and also being able to make bad people look good. A real good champion can do all these things, and that's what Becky Lynch is. She made Shayna's moves look better than they should have looked normally. But, surprisingly enough, going into this, I wasn't super hyped for it. But once I saw the match, it was better than I thought it would be. It was pretty good. Problems with it were Baszler kept using her same old tried and true moves where she grabs Lynch and bangs her head into the announce table. Didn't care for that too much. That's pretty much it. Becky did win and retained her championship, which I was happy for that to happen. So, on that note, I'll just say the man is still the man. Next match, the Intercontinental Championship. We have Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Yes, I'm a Daniel Bryan guy. Yes. I like Daniel Bryan. He's great. So we have the beginning of this. Sami is running around the ring, running away from Daniel Bryan, playing little cat and mouse going on for a while. Sami had his goons out there, Shinsuke Nakamura, and what's his face? I can't even remember at the moment. But yeah, y'all check it out. See, that's the thing. You put somebody with Shinsuke Nakamura, and they just get dwarfed because Shinsuke is like pretty much already a legend to me. So that's why I can't even remember the other guy. So I'll have to look it up. If y'all know and you can remember, put it in the comments below. We'll say Shinsuke and other guy from this moment forward. They were pretty much playing chicken, and his goons, Sami was using his goons to cause distractions throughout the match. That pretty much led into Sami Zayn retaining the championship because at one point Drew Gulak came out there and he got the goons, knocked them out, both of them, and then they finally got back out of what happened. They got knocked over the barrier or something. Yeah, that's right. They got knocked over the barrier, and Drew Gulak, whatever, he was gone for after that. They got back in, caused a distraction. Sami Zayn caught Daniel Bryan with a haluva kick. I hate the name of that move, haluva. It's hell of a kick. Hell of a kick. Haluva sounds like something you done to a word to make it sound fancy. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, Sami Zayn hits Daniel Bryan with that, and then it's game over. Even though Sami Zayn was begging him in the match, "Don't hurt me." That was pretty much a rip-off of MJF with the Kobe thing. It was super rip-off. It was okay. It was an alright match. I'd give it, like, if I was rating it, like a C- or something. That's pretty much what it was. Anyways, we got a notification here. Looks like Wildcat is getting ready to do night 2 of the Wrestlemania shortly. He said he's ready to go. So let's finish her off here. And yeah, finish her off and we'll get to his portion of night 2 of this long wrestling weekend. So next we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. This was pretty good. I kind of like this. This is pretty good. This is interesting. So it was a triple threat ladder match. So you have one member from each of these tag teams, which was John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, and Jimmy Uso, in a ladder match to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. On this one, I have to say there were a lot of high spots. It was a really good match. Probably second best. It was second best match of the night for me. Second best match. The ladders caused a lot of noise when they were being dropped, so it kind of drowned out the fact that there was no audience. I like that part of it. John Morrison, as always, Mr. Slow Motion, was amazing. He did a lot of high spots. His one move, I can't remember the name of it, but that one move off the turnbuckle, where he does that spin flip into, oh my god, that thing was good. That move looked so slick. I really liked it. I actually went back and watched it several times, that move. He is slick, man. John Morrison's always been great, but man, he just gets better and better. The finish was interesting. They had the guys up there, and Uso actually unclipped the belt, so you're thinking they won, but they're all holding on to the belts anyways, and then Morrison falls with the belts. So Morrison retained the championships, because he is the current champion with Miz, and they retain the belts in this second best match of night 1 of WrestleMania to me. You have a very quick spot here with the 24/7 championship. We have a new 24/7 champion like we have every single night, it seems. And that new champion is, who is it? Get hype, Mojo Rawley? Yeah, it's Mojo Rawley. Yep. So basically what happened was, for some reason, R-Truth was running or something, and then he was up there with Mr. Rob Gronkowski, the Gronkinator, the host of WrestleMania. More like a fan, not really a host. So, because he didn't talk very much, which I was very happy of. So basically, Rob Gronkowski starts to pin R-Truth, and then Mojo turns on him, knocks him down. Mojo Rawley, new 24/7 championship. Champion, I should say. All right, we've got 3 more matches to go, so let's move quickly along. Next match. This was the best match of the night. We have Kevin Owens versus the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. So at the beginning of this match, basically, Seth Rollins hits Kevin with something. I think it was the ring bell. And gets DQ'd. So Kevin gets really mad, demands Seth Rollins get back there and do a no DQ match. That's when things got good. Holy crap, there were moves coming out everywhere. This was something, I'm not really a big Kevin Owens fan, but wow, I was super impressed by Kevin Owens in this match. He pulled out all the stops for this one, guys. Holy crap. There was even a point where Kevin Owens climbs up to the top of the WrestleMania sign itself and jumps off onto Seth Rollins through the announce table. Holy crap, that was amazing. Yeah, this was the best match of the night. Straight up best match of the night. Kevin Owens did take the victory and get his revenge and his WrestleMania moment. Next match, we have the Universal Championship, Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Yeah, that's right, the replacement for Roman Reigns. Very, very short match, guys. Very short. Just like every match Goldberg does nowadays, because it's get too old to wrestle. Anyways, yeah. So Goldberg tries to spear him. I believe it was 4 times he tried to spear Strowman. and he did 4 times. Goes into the attempted jackhammer, gets reversed. Strowman starts power slamming him all around the ring. Boom, new champion. Braun Strowman, new Universal Champion. Very short match. It was very, very short, in a couple minutes. Very quick. But this just shows you guys that Goldberg is getting too old to do this, and he can't last in the ring, just like somebody else. Brock Lesnar. The last match was not really a match to me. This is more of a WWE cinematic experience. This was the Boneyard match with Undertaker and the phenomenal AJ Styles. I'm not going to ruin this one for you guys. I'm just going to let you go. I'm going to say go check it out, watch it. I don't consider it a match personally. It was more like a really long promo that was like a mini movie. And almost everyone can agree with me. It's not a true match. There's no ref, no nothing like that. So it was filmed in like movie style. You had a lot of cool stuff happening. That's almost saying a lot of cool stuff. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. Just go watch it. It's super unique. It's something I've never really seen in WWE. And it really closed out the night really well. But they did something even more special on night 2 in this manner. So stay tuned, and I'm going to turn you over to Wildcat Parsons for WrestleMania Night 2. And remember to keep it retro.
How about we play this next hand with the Joker?
How about the Joker plays with you? You cut. Da, 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 da. Whoever draws the ace of spades wins the night out. That window.
Darren? Have a Snickers.
Why?
Because you get a little bit crazy when you're hungry.
I'm not crazy. I'm just differently sane.
Better? Better.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
I want to reshuffle.
Hey everybody, WrestleMania this year was 2 days. 2 crazy, great, fun, forget about what's going on in the world kind of days. And I'm here to bring you day 2 of the Showcase of Immortals that we like to call WrestleMania. It started out with Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT title. It was kind of a weird setup for this feud, the way they've done it, but it was really, 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 really good, hard-hitting, back and forth. There's a lot of counters. Rhea really looked strong the way it was booked. Of course, Charlotte always looked strong the way it was booked, but like the ring psychology was really good. Rhea, she really shone as a main event performer here. There were actually a couple of moments in it that tended to get a little bit sloppy, and I'm going to be fair, they were Charlotte's fault, which tends to happen in her matches. She's very athletic, and she's a veteran by now, but there's just moments where things happen. I don't know why they do, but that aside, later in the match, Charlotte started working the leg, and there were all these great little spots where Rhea would like punch her knee or be like, "Just start working, dang it!" And I thought it was really well worked by both women. And then WWE decided that they wanted to have the NXT belt on a really good young up and coming star in. Oh wait, they got that. Charlotte Flair. So that was confusing. I mean, I understand there's all the matchups and everything you could get by putting her back on NXT, but we could have put her back on NXT without having the belt. It happens. Ask Finn Balor. He went without the belt. Charlotte doesn't need the belt. whoever writes for WWE, I'm going to need you to repeat after me really, really slowly right now so I could see if it will sink into your head. Charlotte Flair doesn't need a belt. Are you sure you can get that? If not, now we can move on. We had Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley with Lana at ringside. It started out Bobby Lashley really showing his power advantage over Aleister Black, and a good little back and forth. It was nothing. This could have been a match that took place on Raw, and not even the main event on Raw. It definitely wasn't WrestleMania quality. It just felt off. It felt missing. It was meh. These are two really good workers. Personally, Aleister Black's a little better worker. Lashley hasn't shown me anything since he's been back in WWE. He was so much better in Impact than doing the other stuff that he was doing before. So, I don't know. Anyway, Bobby Lashley loses after he listens to Lana, who tells him to do a spear instead of the finisher he was going to do instead, and he eats a black mass in the process of doing the spear. So that little relationship's starting to show its problems. It's starting to fray a little bit. Good long-term storyline. Like I said, I don't think it was really a WrestleMania quality match. Like, there was no real feud build-up. It was just kind of, hey guys, we get on the card. Yay. But it moved us on to one thing that, to a moment we were all looking forward to. We get Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. So, on SmackDown we found out that it was Sonya and Dolph that had worked together to send the text that made sure Otis was late for the day. Well, thanks to a mysterious stranger on SmackDown, we found out the truth of the matter. So, this is the blow-off. This is the moment when Otis finally gets his hands on Dolph, and boy did he. It was typical fare. Dolph's a really good worker. Otis is a really underrated worker, especially for his size. Holy crap. Dolph hit him in the no-nos.
What? Oh no!
And then later, Otis returned the favor. He hits the Caterpillar, which is the world's largest worm. Which, I know it's funny, it's goofy and everything, but I just can't take Heavy Machinery seriously as a tag team with this being a finisher. Please fix this. I like goofy in wrestling, but finishers can't be goofy. It's why I can never buy Too Cool as a tag team. Great athletes. Dodgy stuff at the end. Anyway, not only does Otis win the match, but he gets the girl. He gets a kiss from Mandy Rose, and he carries her backstage. So we get our happy ending. And that's what WrestleMania is typically about, is happy endings, those blow-offs to the story. It's well known to be a pay-per-view where the good guy wins. But that leads into, personally, my actual match of the night. It was 40 minutes. It was Edge and Randy Orton in Last Man Standing. And if you like old-fashioned storytelling, psychological wrestling, then you absolutely loved every second of this. It was a great moment by two of the best in the history of the business. One's a Hall of Famer, one's going to be for sure. It started out with Brandy pretending to be a cameraman. So while his music's playing, Edge is staring at the ramp waiting for him to come down, which also, this was awkward this was the one thing that was awkward for me with the empty arenas, where they were still doing their big full entrances and coming up to nobody. And Cena played off on that later in the night, and it was hilarious. But anyway, Orton hits an RKO to start the match. Before anything else happens, Edge is already at a disadvantage. They fight their way through the Performance Center. We get to see how creative they are in different spots, and it ends. Actually, there was a spot earlier where Edge does the elbow drop off of a cage through a table. There's Orton with the draping DDT. Ended up being onto the tonneau cover of an F-250. Like, Ford truck's so tough you can wrestle on top of them. Who knew? And then it ends. They're on top of a tractor trailer. They're on top of the trailer. Orton hits the RKO up there. Edge somehow gets up. It was after Edge hit Randy with the spear, and there's a whole lot of like close counts that happened throughout the night. But the finish came. Randy had hit the RKO on Edge. Then he setting up the concerto. He puts the chair under it, and Edge grabs his head for this new submission finisher that he's got, and puts Randy to sleep. And the ref starts counting, and Edge tells him to stop. It ends with the concerto from Edge to Randy. And there's this great little sequence. You need to go rewind it. Right, he's got the chair, and Edge, like, he starts to cry, and you can see the emotion on his face. And then it just turns into sheer anger and determination that he has to do this, he has to finish this. And it ends with the concerto, Edge over Randy Orton. It did go a little, the pacing was a little weird at times, but I'm okay. I can forgive a little slowness because they were building up and telling a story. I definitely wasn't bored, I'll tell you that. It was that good. And then after all that, we get a moment where Gronk is now the 24/7 champ. Yay! That's all I want to say about that. We
And that's all I have to
have
say
the Raw
about
Tag
that.
Team titles. The Street Profits versus Garza and Austin Theory. Zelina Vega come down with them. Really, really, really good match between four great performers. The Street Profits end up winning after Montez Ford hits his big move. I mean, honestly, what else can you really say about this except for go watch? Like, these aren't names that jump off the paper. They don't jump off the marquee. But it's four really, really good workers. I mean, Angel Garza, I've said it on here before. I will say it again. I will repeat it until whoever needs to know hears me. He's a future star. He's got that written all over him. And the Street Profits are two really good athletic workers. And Austin Theory, he really surprised me here. I don't know much about him, but he carried himself very well. Like I said, the Street Profits win though, and then Garza, Theory, and Vega are beating down the Street Profits after the fight. And of course, Bianca Belair comes down, who's the wife of one of the Street Profits, and she beats up Zelina Vega. So, yay, maybe welcome to Raw, Bianca Belair. Was kind of hoping to see her and Charlotte. That would have been an interesting matchup. That's one thing I do like about her going to NXT. You can do some of the stuff like that. Then we move on to the women's 5-way match with Tamina and Naomi and Bayley and Sasha and Lacey Evans. And this was it was interesting. It was a little... It was strangely booked. I'll say it that way. I mean, it starts out, Tamina is just beating the absolute mess out of everyone. They ended up having to quadruple team her, and that's how they got Tamina out of the match. All 4 of the other women pinned her at the same time. Way to make somebody look strong that hasn't been on TV in months. We'll see you around Christmas time, because it is around Easter time, and we saw you this time. It's like those people that you only see at church Christmas and Easter. So, Tamina, we'll see you whatever pay-per-views in December. Have fun, enjoy your vacation. Pacific Islands, they're nice. Then Bayley and Sasha were doing a really good job of working together and telling that friendship story. And then Naomi and Lacey Evans were, hey, let's do the same thing. Let's work together. Let's get them out of the match. And that seemed to be it turned into like a tornado tag team match, kind of at that point. Naomi ends up tapping out to the bank statement, so it's left to Lacey Evans with the other 2 women. Lacey goes to the flying knee to Bayley in the corner, and instead catches Sasha Banks. So we're starting to see they set up a little bit of the division between them two. And everybody thought this was going to be the moment that we get the blow off, that we get Sasha Banks with the title maybe, her and Bayley go get that fight. They planted more seeds for it, but they didn't pull the trigger on it, which I think was actually a good decision here. Give us something for SummerSlam. Give us something to look forward to down the road. And they made Lacey look really strong. I mean, she ended up pinning Sasha Banks after she misses Bayley with the women's right, gets shoved, and turns around and just socks Sasha. Then her and Bayley go back and forth for a little bit, and Sasha actually comes back in and helps Bayley retain, and puts the belt on her, and you just see that it's gonna turn, but I like how they're slow building a story. This is really good sometimes. Take your time, tell the story the right way, don't rush things. Then it moved on to, oh my goodness, one of my favorite things I've ever seen, the Firefly Funhouse segment. So Cena comes out, and the arena's empty, and you can see he started to do his whole shtick, and he's just looking around like, okay, this is what's going on. And Bray talks a little bit, and of course there's the Dante's Inferno quote on the door in the funhouse. Cena ends up in the funhouse itself talking to the puppets, and the whole thing's just, you're watching it with your mouth open like, what are they gonna do? What are they doing? What are they gonna do next? And it starts out with and it was like an episode of John Cena, This Is Your Life, because we get the Ruthless Aggression era John Cena, where he came out and he fought Kurt Angle, and that didn't go well. And the whole time, Bray's just talking to him, like reminding him of his failures, reminding him of all these things he's done wrong. And we get a little Saturday Night Main Event segment, which was hilarious. John Cena pumping some iron, and it moves forward in time a little bit more to where we have the John Cena Bray Wyatt match kind of recreated, where we get the Waylon Mercy style character for Bray Wyatt, and Cena has a chair, and Bray's sitting there doing this, going, you have a chance to get it right this time, Cena. But during the whole time, he's talking to Cena. He's like, look, I don't think you understand. You're the bully. Because we got Dr. Thugonomics Cena. He's like, you find things about people and you point it out and you make fun of them. So you're the bully, John. I thought that was a really cool little moment in the whole thing. And then it ends with Bray Wyatt out there in the ring with the leather jacket and the NWO shirt. And it's straight WCW Monday Nitro, Eric Bischoff in the ring, introducing Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And it's John Cena in the NWO gear, playing air guitar on the belt. And he's doing the entire Hulk Hogan shtick. And for everything that's been talked about through the years, about how Cena needs to turn heel, and everybody's tired of the, like, how his career kind of parallels Hulk Hogan in this. The whole thing was just brilliant. I thought this was a really, really nice touch. And then, of course, The Fiend shows up. And when The Fiend shows up, that's when things get completely serious. Because Hogan Cena beat down the Husky Harris style, if I remember correctly. And then we have, The Fiend come out. And he hits the mandible claw. And Cena gets Sister Abigail. And then we get the mandible claw. And then Bray Wyatt comes out and counts to 3. So we have The Fiend winning the match and Bray Wyatt doing the count. So who knows what's going to go on with this next? I want to see where this goes. I love that that they got Cena involved. His acting chops really added to this. The fact that they went all throughout his career. The fact that he actually ate the pinfall, because they were making allusions to that the entire time. They even called him coming in Big Match John. It was just absolutely well done. Everybody was asking for creativity, me included, to do something crazy awesome with this empty arena stuff. And this one, home run. Whoever, I know part of this is Bray Wyatt's creativity. Whoever did this, it was great. This is something you can't do often because it loses the mystique, the charm, the whimsicalness of it. But it's something that we can keep doing. Like the Boneyard match with Styles and Undertaker. These are things that we can do every once in a while to keep things fresh, to keep things new. And after that, we had wow, it's just a hard act to follow. So no matter what, the title match was going to be underwhelming between Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. And it was short, to the point. Drew comes in, he hits Brock with a quick Claymore. He gets the 2 count, he gets disillusioned, and of course Brock takes over. German suplex, hits a F5, Drew kicks out in 1. Great look on Brock's face, great psychology there. Brock does have some of the best faces in the business, which is why he's some of the best memes in the business. And honestly, the empty arena thing, I could listen to Heyman yell random things to Brock all night. Like, that was an underrated, entertaining part of the match. But there were a few more F5s, and Drew kept kicking out. And then 2 Claymore kicks. 2 more Claymore kicks, and it's over. New champion in like 6 minutes, I want to say. So, Drew gets his WrestleMania moment. Brock doesn't have the belt anymore. I wonder how long he's going to be away from TV, or how that's all going to work. But both of the title matches, one of them, for obvious reasons, had to be underwhelming, because Goldberg can't work that well anymore. But I was expecting a little bit more out of this one. 2 athletic big guys that can work. And Like, this is where they could have cut maybe 10 minutes out of Edge and Orton, and that match still would have been fine, and give these guys 10 more minutes to work. Because they're... unless there was a reason why it went this short, then that's, why didn't we? Anyway, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Throw something down in the comments for me. I think from now on we should do this 2 days of WrestleMania. I like 2 3-hour shows better than 1 6-hour show. That kept it fresh. That kept it energetic. It actually didn't feel like it was 3 hours, either show, and I watched both days. But if you like what we're doing, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thank you guys. God bless.